Shocked after being sent their VCE results days early in a major SMS stuff-up.
The long road to justice, the bid to uncover the truth behind some of Melbourne's most notorious unsolved gangland murders.
A suburban street woken by gunfire and screams as a man is left fighting for life after being blasted in a drive-by attack.
And on the front foot, could the Big Bash be set to deliver cricket lovers a Christmas Day cracker?
This is 10 Eyewitness News, first at 5, with Stephen Quartermain and Candice Wyatt.
Good evening. Also tonight, Victoria moves another step closer to being the euthanasia state.
First tonight, an embarrassing exam fail has left education bodies red-faced and thousands of students confused and stressed. A major computer glitch meant some VCE students received their end-of-year scores days early. And while some say it's great news, others are demanding answers. Georgina McKerrow reports.
Victoria has moved one step closer to becoming the first state to legalise voluntary euthanasia. An expert panel will help draft legislation, with the Premier promising to put it to a conscience vote in Parliament next year. State political reporter Matt Gallant has more. And now Brad's here looking ahead to tonight's sport.
And cricket is cracking down on bad behaviour.
Yeah, that is the case, Stephen. It's considering a soccer-style red card system. Also ahead, the Gold Coast Suns appoint co-captains to replace Gary Ablett. And we'll explain a LeBron James shot you don't often see on a basketball court.
Thanks, Brad. Coming up after the break. Find out what happened to this wayward driver who seemed to be stuck in reverse.
And the alarming number of Australian children who aren't getting enough exercise. This is 10 Eyewitness News. A man has been stabbed multiple times in a frenzied attack at Ascot Vale. Police say the 34-year-old was attacked and robbed before fleeing to a nearby apartment building and alerting residents, who then called an ambulance.
The death toll from the Indonesian earthquake is now 97 and it continues to rise as more bodies are pulled from the rubble. Jakarta has also declared a 2-week state of emergency. Gillian Bowen has more. Let's see how the Thursday peak hour is faring. Here's Jimmy Wertenen in the chopper.
Thank you, Stephen. We're just flying over the Nepean Highway, or Brighton Road, getting onto the Nepean this evening in the Plush Sofas traffic chopper. Having a look at a pretty good run approaching the Glen Huntley Junction. Now, if you are heading southbound, do enjoy it, because down in Aspendale, the Nepean Highway southbound currently closed at Bonavista Avenue. That's just near the railway station. Got a power pole on fire there. You'll want to head along Station Street near Mordialloc Creek. Big delays through Parkdale and Mordialloc. Even try Wells Road, a much better alternative at the moment. More traffic shortly.
Thank you, Jimmy. Coming up after the break. The family of a woman murdered by her partner hears the brutal details of the attack.
And the gloves are off for a boxing battle before the heavyweights even enter the ring.
Hello again. We're known as a sport-loving nation, but the results of a groundbreaking survey are turning that title on its head. It's forecasting the death of sport, with significant challenges now facing children who want to stay active. Elisa Throden reports. Here's Mike with a look ahead to tonight's weather.
Yes, thank you, Candice. Good evening. What a weird day of weather we've had. A cold front blowing through Melbourne this morning. That wind hitting 80 k's plus in suburbs. Up to 10 millimetres of rain falling. The maximum first thing this morning. So yeah, it's been ridiculous. The rain, random sort of triple R of weather and triple R of radio fame has turned 40. A fabulous exhibition now on at State Library Victoria until the end of January goes back to the early days when the station was known as 3RMT on the wireless. Triple R becoming one of the largest and most successful community radio stations in the country during the past 4 decades. A lot of well-known radio personalities cutting their teeth on these airwaves. And you can even record your own station ID. Hi, this is Mike Larkin and you're listening to Triple R. OK, it looks like the high teens tomorrow, clearing shower or two, then warmer over the weekend. More in half an hour.
Now here's Brad with Thursday Sport.
Thank you, Stephen. The International Cricket Council to get tough on bad behaviour. Co-captains to lead the Suns in 2017. And some radical tips and moves to ensure you make your flight. Good evening. Australia will take an unchanged lineup into next week's first test against Pakistan, and you can expect the players to be on their best behaviour at the Gabba. As Rob Waters reports, the sport's governing body is considering a soccer-style red card system for all forms of the game. And the Bushrangers are struggling as they chase 361 for victory against Tasmania at Bellerive Oval. They've lost 4 wickets. Test batsman Peter Hanscom, the last to go for just 30. Tom Lynch and Stephen May have been appointed Suns co-captains. It's the beginning of a new era on the Gold Coast as the club starts to prepare for life after Gary Ablett. Trent Simpson reports. Player of the day. Now, I wouldn't recommend that. Look good.
Excellent work. Thanks, Brad. See you tomorrow.
Thank you, Brad. Mike is back after the break. And he'll tell us about our ongoing soggy start to summer and some more wet weather on the way.
Welcome back. Well, Melbourne yesterday, sensational. Today, corked. To tell us what went wrong, here's Mike.
Yeah, thank you, Stephen. Good evening. Sounds like you're having a bit of a whine. But wait till tomorrow and you'll be asking yourself, who has uncorked winter? Tomorrow only around 17 degrees. But let's just recap. Today's been all over the shop. At midnight it was 22 degrees. At breakfast time it was around 25. At the moment, 19 degrees. Okay, now some Christmas photos that have been sent to Mike's Pics at network10.com.au. A reindeer in the making. This is Georgia of Doncaster's furry friend. Aliki gardening the tree and the presents. And it looks like Santa's arrived early at the Davies house in Airport West. Good luck getting down that chimney. So 17 degrees was the minimum. That was at 9 o'clock, but 2 hours prior, or even 3 hours, it was around 25 degrees between 6 a.m. and 7 a.m. Outside right now, 19, the humidity of 44%, and the wind has been all over the shop today, currently a northwesterly blowing at 12 kilometres per hour. Around town, let's talk about some of that rain. Well, the best rains around town, in fact, was 10 mils in the Dandenong Ranges, 4 fell here in the city, 6 at Moorabbin, 8 at Scoresby. Across our state, and along with the overnight change, rain up to 35 millimetres in the Castlemaine Ballarat area. There was an isolated 45 millimetre fall in the Wombat State Forest, 100 k's west of Melbourne. Today, up to 39 mils in the Yarra Ranges National Park. Around the country, Sydney and Brisbane both scoring 27, and in Adelaide, where a guy swallowed a boomerang, discharged from hospital 27 times. Got to 20. The weather charts, a strong cold front and associated low means it'll feel more like winter than summer tomorrow. Even snow for the Alps and Tasmania. But if you want some warm weather, next Monday and Tuesday, sensational. The rainfall chart, again, thunderstorms for New South Wales, severe in the northeast of that state. Interstate, Brisbane tomorrow, 21, and in the morning, 31 in the afternoon, and stormy, Sydney about 26. Across our state, scattered showers for mainly southern and mountain areas, snow possibly down to 1,200 metres. So a couple of weeks shy of perhaps a white Christmas. Fresh and gusty winds easing later on. The radar, showers are still moving across the southwest and the far east. A gale warning for the west and central, the central and Gippsland coast, a strong wind warning for the west coast. Around Melbourne, generally a pretty cool 16, 17 degrees, should be about 24 this time of year. And on the bays, westerly winds of 20 to 30 knots. So for our city by the Yarra, still some showers tonight and tomorrow, but only a millimetre. Winds turning colder southwesterly tomorrow morning for a chilly 11 to 17 degree Friday. Saturday, 11 to 19. Sunday, 22. The next week it is 30 and 33 degrees. That is our weather. Still some showers about tonight. See you tomorrow. Stephen.
Thank you, Mike. And that's 10 Eyewitness.